Place your bets. We're ready to race in Las Vegas. Going to be fun tonight. The drivers strapping in, getting ready to go. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is ready to roll from Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
This one is going to go down to the wire. Eric Jones, checkered flag. Kelly takes the checkered flag.
Tyler Reddick wins at Las Vegas. Ben Rhodes wins for the first time, and he does it at Las Vegas.
Let me tell you again. Woo! Can't even believe it, guys.
Is there any place more exciting than Las Vegas? Coming here twice, it's so much fun. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Normally we come in the fall, and well, it's a much different temperature than we're used to here this evening, that's for sure. Last time we were here in the fall, it was upper 80s. Tonight, very cool in the 50s here this evening. Let's check in downstairs with Alan Cavana.
Huge win last week for Brett Moffitt and crew chief Scott Zipadelli. How much did you learn about your team going on now that you can chase a championship in the playoff?
Well, I knew these guys were tough. You know, that's why I picked the best people I could pick. And you're only as strong as your people. And I believe this sport's all about people. And these guys have worked really hard. We went back to the shop Sunday and worked all day, prepared this truck to come to Vegas, and we unloaded fast. And I feel like we got a top 3 truck. If we can execute tonight, we can get this Ison Toyota Tundra with a TRD engine back at Victory Lane and throw a party in Vegas.
Same truck that won last week is back this week. Hermie?
Well, Alan, Ben Rhodes comes into tonight's race with a lot of confidence. He won last time we were here at Las Vegas. He finished 4th last week in Atlanta after overcoming some engine issues during the course of the day. You can see him nailing a late race restart to go to Victory Lane last time here. Now, he's got that same truck here tonight. It's not a Toyota any longer. It is a Ford, but they are stoked about this effort tonight. But if he's going to win his 2nd in a row here at Vegas, he'll have to dig out from a 15th place starting position. Vince?
11 different drivers have won the last 11 races here. Who's going to add their name to that list tonight? Let's take a look at our Camping World track description, Mike.
Vince, all I'm hearing is grip, grip, grip. These cool temperatures you spoke of means when they hit those 20-degree bank corners, they're going to be flying, and they're going to hold it wide open down the 2,275-foot front straightaway. And this means for us, Phil, 2-3 wide racing, a lot of drafting, pulling up on one another. It's going to be an exciting race.
Let's take a look at our Shell Rotella race analysis. You see this race is 134 laps, 200 miles. Our stages are 30-30 and the final stage 74. You see our pit window, which is going to come into play on that last stage from 48 to 53 laps.
32 trucks starting tonight. See that starting lineup in the pylon, led by Kyle Busch and Stuart Friesen on the front row, and Spencer Davis, the youngster, in row 2, Mike.
How about that, Vince? 19 years old, only his 3rd truck start. He's right up there with the big boys. Hey, Spencer Davis, Michael Waltrip in the Fox booth. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you. You got me?
I do, and I've been so impressed with you. Just 3 starts. You're mixing it up with champion Johnny Sauter right to your inside, boss Kyle Busch just ahead. How do you prepare for a moment like this with this start and how intense it's going to be?
Just stuff during the week, you know, talking to the boss man, asking him what he's done here before, what he does and restarts in general on these trucks, and just talking to people like Johnny Sauter, like Noah Gregson, like Kyle Busch, and Matt Crafton, you know, this education, you know, get educated on it. Then the big thing we've been talking about is executing what I've learned.
Well, it's been impressive. This is a long race, so tiptoe through it if you can. I don't even think that's possible, but good luck and have a good start.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take a look at those onboard cameras. We're going to get some great views tonight, Phil.
Yeah, we're going to ride along in that Jegs.com Chevy with Cody Coughlin. Cody finished 6th out here last year, which was his best career finish at that time. He will start that Chevy from the 14th spot.
Let's hop on board with Myatt Snyder and take a look at my favorite view, the helmet cam. We can see exactly what it's like for Myatt to wheel that Ford down into the corners. Look at that banking, Phil. That shot right there makes me feel so much like a race car driver, and I'm so happy that Myatt's carrying it along. We're going to get some great views. Myatt's going to roll from the 10th position with his Ford onboard camera.
Let's ride along with a local. How about Noah Gregson? great, outstanding runner-up finish last week at Atlanta. And he's going to start that Toyota onboard camera from the 5th position.
And I think one of our favorites for the race.
Absolutely.
Tonight. We talked about long shots. Well, this guy would be on the short list of favorites.
You know, we mentioned that Matt Crafton was going to have to go to the rear for unapproved adjustments on that 88 truck, and he is not alone. See the others that will join him there. Dalton Sargent, they had a little bit of an engine issue in that qualifying session earlier this afternoon. How about the radio of the 52, Stuart Friesen?
Give some respect, gain some respect. You got some great drivers around you to learn from right there.
Top 4 guys, man, thanks for everything. Great job putting this new truck together. Really, really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun last couple of days. Let's have a nice race.
Stuart Friesen, the driver. Trip Bruce, the crew chief. Andy Houston, the spotter for Friesen. Houston, by the way, already has a Daytona 500 victory to his credit this season.
And those spotters, Vince, they're going to be busy tonight. You're not going to believe the action in the turns here.
Kyle Busch on the outside. He has never won with his truck here at Las Vegas. It's his hometown. Can he get truck win number 50 tonight? We're about to find out. Green and racing in Vegas.
Ooh, contact already.
John Hunter Nemechek went below the white line, trying to avoid that 3 wide with Justin Haley in the middle.
Look at this pack off turn 2. They're already peaking 3. Is that 4 wide we're looking at?
Wow.
Johnny Sauter with a strong run up the bottom.
Kyle Busch to the front. 3 wide again for 3rd.
Very dicey. I asked Spencer Davis to tiptoe into this thing. How about 3 wide on the outside first lap?
I was going to say, like most, he doesn't listen, Mike. He's not listening to you at all.
Well, that's impressive just to hang on to that truck.
Look at the battles 3 wide again with Nemechek and Snyder and Grant Enfinger in there.
A lot of the drivers and crew chiefs said, remember, we race here. It's so much warmer. Typically, we can only run a couple laps wide open. Now these guys think they can run wide open for a full fuel run.
Stuart Friesen and the 4 of Spencer Davis side by side. Now watch the 8. This is a replay of the start. John Hunter Nemechek having to go down and make contact there with Justin Marks.
Yeah, and we don't have an out of bounds here, Vince. You can race all over this racetrack. Once you cross the start-finish line on the initial start, it's game on. And you can see Nemechek had a run. He wanted to take advantage of it, but Marks cut him off.
How about this early run for Matt Crafton riding along with Cody Coughlin right now? Look at Matt Crafton. That's him right there in that bright yellow truck right up ahead of Cody Coughlin. He's already made his way up into the top 10 after going to the back at the initial start.
A couple of KBM trucks, the 4 of Spencer Davis, the 18 of Noah Gregson.
And look just ahead of them, Vince. That's a battle for the lead. They're 2 by 2 for the first 4 spots. We knew this is how the racing was going to look tonight, and this is awesome for the fans.
Michael, the guys during practice said it's like racing at Michigan or maybe even Daytona and Talladega with the draft playing such a big part.
Johnny Sauter on the bottom in that 21, won the season opener at Daytona. Kyle Busch nudging ahead in the 51, and it's a little push of air from Stuart Friesen.
You know what's important, Vince? You'd say, why are we racing 2 wide for 2 rows this early in the race? Well, we're learning. We're trying to figure out everything we can, what moves will work and what moves won't. Did you see Gregson there around the outside to grab a spot? You put that in the memory bank, and when it comes down to crunch time, you rely on that information you've learned.
And guys, remember how short these stages are. Only 30 laps here. We're 5 laps into that 30-lap stage.
Now, this is the shortest race, the shortest truck race we've ever had here at Las Vegas. It's just 134 laps, and as Phil mentioned, 30 laps in stage 1, 30 laps in stage 2, and then 74 laps in that final stage. And we've seen some long green flag runs to end this race. How about one to start the race? We might get that too.
All clear, all clear, all clear.
Watch him work this wheel.
All clear.
All the way to the bottom, correcting there. The truck's a little bit free on that part of the racetrack, but that is just a perfect look at what Myatt Snyder sees as he races down the front straightaway.
Yeah, pedal to throttle just a little bit down there. In traffic now, it's not going to be that easy to run wide open. The guys up front may very well be running wide open.
You know, we talked earlier about the last time we were here in the fall, the temperatures being in the upper 80s for the race. Mike, how does these cool temperatures impact the handling of the truck?
It just makes you feel like King Kong, Vince.
Down low, the second one's up high. We're in the middle right here. 3 wide, clear high, clear low. Small run out back, coming right to your bumper here. Looking high, outside, outside.
What about Brett Griffin? Was he busy or what? Did you see Myatt split those lap trucks? But look at the momentum it cost him, Phil. Had to back out of the gas, and Nemechek and Sauter just sweeps by. But you were asking, Vince, this track setting in the shade and not a lot of temperature during the course of the day, but the asphalt just doesn't heat up. And that means these tires stick better, and these guys can be braver and charge harder because their trucks are sticking better.
1-2 out front with Kyle Busch and Stuart Friesen, just like they started on the front row. Busch has led them all so far, 7 laps in. Hey, from the director of The Fast and the Furious, The Hurricane Heist is in theaters March 9th. Here's a special look at the film, rated PG-13. Almost halfway through stage 1 here at Las Vegas. No change in the lead. Kyle Busch has been out front from the beginning, but he's gotten plenty of pressure. Nice battle for 5th there. John Hunter Nemechek in the 8 with Spencer Davis on the inside of that 4 truck.
And there he's Moffitt also, that 16 truck.
I've been watching him, Phil. That's a fast truck. He's been able to close on guys. But you know, when you get to a guy, it disrupts. Oh, we got a spinner.
So the yellow is out. And it's Justin Marks.
Got 4 flat tires from that long spin. I saw smoke. I didn't know who it was. He was running 14th. Obviously not the start to this race we thought he would have even before the spin. So be interesting to see if he can overcome this issue early in the race.
Marks was fastest in the first practice on Thursday, and he came out of the truck after that practice and said this thing's good enough to win. I mean, he has been ready to go.
And you looked at Lap Tracker, the data that the teams look at, and it backed up just what he said. And if you're curious as to why he was not moving forward, I think that's a sign, Vince. That truck was just too loose for him. It finally got away. He's going to lose a lap, but at least he didn't crash.
Remember that little bit of a contact with he and the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek right after the initial green flag. A little bit of shot to the left rear quarter panel there.
I'd be more worried about Nemechek's right front fender, huh? Because maybe bending that in. Be interesting to see if they come to pit road, they work on that.
That shouldn't have affected the 54 truck. Maybe if you pushed the right rear end, it might have affected it a little bit.
First caution of the night, midway through stage 1 in Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series going to have a new leader when we get ready for this restart, because Kyle Busch, who's led all 15 laps so far, has come to pit road and taken 4 tires. Meanwhile, issues for the 88, Hermie.
Vince, he started at the tail end of the field due to unapproved adjustments. He worked his way up inside the top 10, but he had some concerns. Here's some transmission on the radio to his crew chief, Junior Joyner.
You feel like the engine is changing? Is it cutting out or anything, or is it staying good?
Staying the same, but it's just all over the place.
The engine's staying the same, just the fuel pressure is all over the place, correct?
Sir, yes, sir. The fuel pressure is all over the place. The engine seems to be staying the same.
They've asked some engineers to come down and take a listen to what Matt is trying to describe. There you see crew chief Junior Joyner on your screen. He went on to say that once he lets out of the throttle, the fuel pressure goes down to below 10 pounds. So certainly a little bit of concern in the 88 pit.
Certainly keep an eye on that story. Crafton has never won here at Las Vegas, a 3-time runner-up. And then how about the strategy of Kyle Busch coming to pit road under this yellow? First, let's listen to the radio transmission.
I think the only thing we missed in thinking about was stage points. 10-4, boss. I know.
I think Kyle was thinking about owner points for the stage, and interesting call, Phil, why they would have come to pit road there, because they could have stayed out and won this stage and pitted and won the next one too, more than likely.
Yeah, I think he'll be in great shape for the second stage, and he can get there on fuel all the way to the end of the second stage, but I don't know what he really gained by doing that.
Well, guys, what he gained, obviously worked on his truck. His truck was tight center exit, but he also, I believe, is trying to give the 18 and the 4 a better opportunity to maybe win a stage or get additional stage points.
Oh, twist, Termy.
Well, and the 4 runs for owner points. Of course, Todd Gilliland will be in that truck full time later this season, waiting on him to turn 18 years of age.
The 51 runs for owner points too.
Yep. Yeah. And the 18 of Gregson is in for the championship, the driver championship. Alan?
And Justin Marks and crew, they think they're still in good shape if they can get back on the lead lap. They were trying to diagnose the problem. They think they had a left rear go down. Weren't sure, though, if it happened was the cause of the spin or if it happened during the spin. They just don't know, but they think with the damage and everything, if they can get back on the lead lap, they will be okay. It'll just be a matter of doing it before the stage ends and hopefully be the truck in the lucky dog position.
Just to put a period on Kyle Busch, he could still win this darn stage. We talked about drafting and how fast Matt Crafton flew up through the field. Be an entertaining 8 or 9 laps to see if Kyle Busch is able to get there.
I'm going to go around one more time.
That would be a bit of a statement, wouldn't it?
It would be. He doesn't like this extra caution lap, Phil. He's going to need all those laps to get there.
How about the movers? Crafton and Dalton Sargent both started at the rear of the field. Hey, Sunday NASCAR's top drivers right back here in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's NASCAR Goes West. See it all Sunday starting at 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox. You can always stream it live on Fox Sports Go. What'd you like from practice today on the Cup side?
I think it's interesting. They all did qualifying runs, so it was hard to get a good feel for exactly. And every driver down there said, we are flying. I mean, the sensation of speed with these cool temperatures, the way these cars are getting around this track is really taking their breath.
I think our viewers need to tune in for the practices tomorrow, and then we'll get a better idea who looks good for Sunday.
Of course, Ryan Blaney, if you didn't happen to see it, won pole for the race on Sunday.
Ford's right up front. Interesting start to the season with the strength of those Fords, the big win down in Daytona for Austin Dillon. This season so far, Phil, has given me everything I've wanted in NASCAR. Excitement, drama.
We're only 2 races in.
Is that all we are? So Noah Gragson from his onboard getting ready for this restart, dropping that thing down in 2nd gear.
Coming through turn 3, that pace car will pull off and getting ready to restart.
Interesting to see Stuart Friesen take the outside.
Yeah, I think I get it, but this is going to be a wild restart, Phil. These stage points are valuable, and there's only 9 laps to go get them.
Well, let's watch this restart from the view of Myatt Snyder with the visor cam. 10 to go in stage 1. Green is out.
You have to stay in line till you get past the start-finish line, then anything goes.
2 here, man. 2 by 2. Outside, outside. Outside. 3 wide, you're on the bottom. Still 3 wide, you're on the bottom. Still 3 wide. Got 1 outside at your bumper.
Problem for John Hunter Nemechek.
A little bit of smoke, maybe come the right front. There.
Whoa. Look at Spencer Davis down to the bottom of the racetrack, grabbing that 3rd spot.
That's the 15 of Robbie Lyons, who had slowed up as well. And you see that issue, the right front for Nemechek.
Remember, that's where he made contact earlier.
The right front's down.
Look at Kyle Busch. We asked, could he win this stage? Probably not. You want to rethink that, Phil? Up to 7th already.
There's Nemechek, restarted 3rd. Saw that contact at the beginning of the race with Justin Marks.
Watch this push Kyle gives to Snyder. No, I'm not going to push you. I'm taking you 3 wide.
Wow. How impressive will this be if he's able to drive up there and win this stage?
Snyder loses the nose. You see the air. Well, you don't see it, but Kyle Busch goes across his nose, and the air taken away from Snyder cost him valuable time.
Kyle Busch up to 4th.
And he's not done yet, Vince.
3 of the top 4 out of the KBM stable. Noah Gragson leads. Stuart Friesen from GMS in 2nd. And look back in the pack. Everybody's fighting for spots.
Yeah, that's all inside the top 10.
Look at Spencer Davis.
Oh, what a quick study that young man is.
Tiptoe early, Spencer, okay? Yeah, right, Mike. I'm going to win the stage.
Kyle Busch looking around the outside.
Spencer had a moment there entering 3.
On the right-hand side of the screen, what happened to the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek. Here's There's the restart.
Just a soft tire from the beginning, Vince. Couldn't go, and eventually when he hit turn 3, it went down.
What a heads-up move by Ben Rhodes there, the 41 truck, to get around him on the outside.
Cost Brett Moffitt valuable time when he lost his momentum.
It's a KBM train. Noah Gregson, Spencer Davis, and now Kyle Busch on the back end of the Stuart Friesen truck.
You think Stuart Friesen thinks he's outnumbered right now?
I just love getting used to saying this name, Spencer Davis. Noah Gregson, we talked about being a favorite. He's right up there leading this race, and Spencer Davis is trying to heat him up.
And now Kyle on the inside of Friesen for third. Third place to Kyle Busch. It's 1, 2, 3 for KBM. Gregson, Davis, and Busch. Kyle Busch restarted 16th. And there's that 8 of John Hunter Nemechek. He's going to have to come back in, hitting outside the box penalty after he came in with that flat right front.
And that'll be a lap penalty. He's almost 2 laps down, and that's going to be another lap penalty for him.
And that's insult to injury. The issue with the tire looked like he survived that, Phil, and possibly in a position to get back in this thing. Obviously a fast truck. He's out in front of the leaders, but I don't think he can overcome that penalty.
How about Spencer Davis, Hermie?
Vince, it's going to be really interesting to see how aggressive Spencer Davis will be these final couple laps, and how aggressive Kyle Busch will be behind him, because Spencer Davis has been reporting that his truck is loose on entry to the corner. That's not a welcome sight to see Kyle Busch in the rearview mirror when your truck is loose.
Hermie, I think Kyle might have caught him a little break off. Cut him a little break off turn 2. It looked like Spencer got a little low on the track. Kyle had some momentum, but he didn't jump on him.
Remember, this is just the 3rd race for Spencer Davis, the 3rd race in the series. He's just 19 years old. He's only going to run 5 this season. He'll be back in the truck in June at Texas. Really been impressed with the job he's done through the first couple of races at Daytona and Atlanta.
Remember that momentum we talked about Moffitt losing on the start? Looks like he's gained it back. He's driven right up on the bumper of Johnny Sauter. They're battling for the 7th position.
The 2 winners this season. Sauter won at Daytona, Moffitt last week at Atlanta. Back to the front where Kyle Busch continues to run on the bumper of that 4 truck of Davis.
You see him drag the bottom of the track again there, a little bit too low off the corner. Gives some momentum to Friesen.
Looks like Friesen had a thought about maybe jumping to the outside of Kyle Busch.
I would think about it too. They've been all over this racetrack.
The green and white checkers, and Noah Gregson wins stage 1 at Las Vegas. Four teenagers in the field, 2 of them finished 1-2 in stage 1, led by 19-year-old Noah Gregson. In between stages here, stage 1 and stage 2. The stage 1 victory goes to Kyle Busch Motorsports driver Noah Gregson. And it was a 1-2-3 finish for KBM in that first stage, with Spencer Davis 2nd and Kyle Busch 3rd. Stuart Friesen and Myatt Snyder rounding out the top 5 in stage 1.
Phil, we've been doing a pretty good job of identifying the favorites. We saw Kyle Busch lead early, and then we saw Gregson win the stage. A couple guys we put on that list. Stuart Friesen up in the top 5.
He's 40-1, Mike.
I know it. And what about Myatt Snyder? He's had a solid run, and his odds were good as well. So there's some good stories up there amongst that top 5.
Who are we going to talk to here?
Well, I think we're going to talk to Noah Gregson here after they make their pit stop, that stage 1 winner.
Anything in particular you're looking for on these stops? Kyle's not going to pit again after pitting earlier, is he?
I don't know why he would pit again.
We're not really sure why he pitted the first time, but
here he comes.
Here he comes.
Pit stops beginning with Allen.
Vince, Johnny Sauter was fast early in this race, but the handling went away. He says the left front just slamming into the racetrack. He wants 4 tires and a big adjustment, Hermie.
51 of Kyle Busch all the way back up to 3rd in the first stage. He really likes his truck basically on the neutral side. He's not going to get tires here, just a chassis adjustment. Also the 18 of Noah Gregson, his truck is tight. They're putting right sides on the 18. The 4 of Spencer Davis, he is tight, center, and off. They're working on the right side, a little bit slow on the right front of the 4 of Spencer Davis.
Well, you saw that Kyle Busch didn't take tires, as Hermie indicated.
I like that call, Phil.
Chassis adjustment.
Yep. Didn't lose any track position. He's going to be right up front, and he was able to top off just in case he needed
a little bit of insurance. Absolutely made a chassis adjustment. Let's see if we can talk to our stage 1 winner. Hey, Noah Gregson, Phil Parsons, and the boys up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 2-4.
Looks like you got a pretty good truck right there. How is it to win stage 1 here in your hometown?
You know, it's a good feeling. My safe one out on glass Toyota Tundra's really fast. Got 2 more to go. Hopefully we can make the hat trick and end up in victory lane.
All right, buddy, keep her going.
Thanks.
He's an entertaining cat.
Stage 2. When we come back to Las Vegas, hasn't been a smooth night for everybody, that's for sure. Has been for Noah Gregson, though.
It's on the 88 of Matt Crafton. He came down pit road to hit his pit stall, hit his brake pedal. The pedal went all the way to the floor. He was not able to stop, and the 88 has gone to the garage to try to make repairs. Big, big disappointment for the 88 team, Vince.
Yeah, he has never won here at Las Vegas. He's won a lot of mile-and-a-halves, but he's never won here.
3 times, Vince, he's finished second. Not tonight, though.
Not going to happen tonight either. Well, Grant Enfinger will be your new leader. He stayed out, did not pit. Kyle Busch did pit, but just took fuel. He had already pitted earlier and taken on tires.
What about back in the 6th position? That's Dalton Sargent. We talked at the beginning of the race about him going to the rear of the field. Now he's battled back into contention.
And he took just 2 tires on that pit stop. Enfinger on the outside, Kyle Busch inside, racing stage 2.
Dead even off of turn 2.
Oh, Kyle pushes up a little bit. Got into the side of Enfinger, it looked like.
2 wide, several rows deep, now starting to fan out as Friesen looked underneath. Gregson and Spencer Davis in row 2 side by side battling for position.
Bouncing off of each other back there, aren't they? And watch this run to the top by Davis. Enfinger blocks, that's going to give the advantage to Kyle Busch.
Remember, fresher tires on Spencer Davis and Noah Gregson than these 2 trucks out front.
I'm impressed with Enfinger fighting back on the outside. A little side drafting there by Busch. I don't care if you're a kid like Spencer Davis or a veteran like Kyle Busch. When you're running on the inside of the racetrack with another truck to your outside, you've got your hands full. There's no air to lean on. There's a void between the 2 trucks and it wants to get loose.
On board with Myatt Snyder, doing a good job in the 5th spot.
Look at him, he's 3 wide now on the outside. Boy, this groove has really widened out here, hasn't it?
Oh, wow. That's intense.
Ben Rhodes in that green truck back there in the 7th spot. Enfinger taking a look at Kyle Busch again on the inside.
Myatt Snyder's got quite a horse up under him, doesn't he? He's able to run right on the back.
Great view from Myatt Snyder's visor cam.
With all these trucks running together, they're running pole-winning speeds right now.
And it looks like to me Myatt Snyder's just looking for somewhere to go. Give me a hole, and I'm going to get in it. You can see stage 1 winner Gregson just ahead of him. Grant Enfinger is determined to grab the lead back from Kyle Busch.
Will not give it up, and he's going to get it right here.
Enfinger leads the lap.
For the moment, he's going to get it.
How about that battle? Look at that pack.
This does look like Daytona.
Throw a blanket over that top 6. Enfinger and Kyle Busch side by side for the lead. Saw Enfinger in the garage today, and he had a smile on his face. He said, I think we've got something to compete with tonight. I can see why he was so excited about it.
Look at Friesen to the bottom. He grabs 3rd. Now he races up beside Spencer Davis.
And look at the options these guys are going to have. Remember, no tires on that 98. He didn't even stop in Kyle did fuel only. He put tires on about lap 15.
Does that tell you tires aren't that much of a factor?
It doesn't appear to be.
Well, that's because of all the grip in the track that we talked about. These Goodyear tires are sticking well. You can run up high or you can go down low, where Myatt Snider just blisters around the bottom of the racetrack.
How about Friesen? Is he going to make it three wide?
Stuart Friesen for the lead, gets it.
That was aggressive.
Look at the momentum that Grant Enfinger lost there. Now he's stuck in the middle.
Wow. Friesen saw a slight opening and jumped on it.
And Enfinger avoided a major crash right in front of the whole field because he had to just give that spot up. He was driving to the bottom of the turn.
I got to believe his spotter, David Pepper, was helping him, letting him know where those trucks were.
Friesen restarted 5th on 2 tires.
Watch this. You know, Phil, I hear you on Pepper, and I'm sure he was in his ear, but I think Enfinger almost had to feel Friesen coming in there. And wow, look at that truck get out of shape.
So Enfinger went from the lead, and he has now dropped down to 9th after losing that momentum. We're going to break, but we're going to keep on trucking. You're not going to miss a thing right here from Las Vegas.
All week we work, and when Friday comes, we all get to raise a little hell.
In the West, drivers, tracks are filled with fortune.
That's where I found my first last year.
Martin Truex is money in Las Vegas.
Checkers or wreckers, I say.
I like your optimism.
Let's go get ugly down here, boy.
You ready for your first?
You know where they're, Mano.
Suarez has the lead.
We'll have to get through me, though.
Here comes Jimmy Johnson.
All right, then. Let's strike gold, racers.
There's a secret in them Smoky Mountains, and it's my new KFC Smoky Mountain Barbecue, made by taking my freshly prepared extra crispy fried chicken and coating it in a sweet and smoky barbecue. Try it in a tenders basket at KFC, now just $4.99. It's finger-licking good.
Toyota, let's go places.
This is No Limits, Texas, sacred ground. These are the chosen, the anointed, the children of history selected for greatness by the finger of power. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Jimmy Johnson. Speed, danger, fun. The O'Reilly Auto Parts 500, Sunday, April 8th. 2 tickets for as low as $99. TexasMotorspeedway.com.
How about it? 3 wide at Las Vegas for the lead. Myatt Snider going to the front, trying to get past Stuart Friesen in the middle, and Kyle Busch inside.
Oh, me. I get it coming off the turn 3 wide, but going in, something's got to give.
Friesen squeezes him and somehow takes the lead from the middle position.
Ben Rhodes says, that looks fun, guys. Can I join you? He brings that 41 truck right up into the mix.
And gets inside of Snider as you ride inside with Myatt.
This is impressive. These young racers mixing it up, but check out the 13 of Snider right on the back of Spencer Davis, and Davis almost dumps it.
This is what Myatt Snider saw. You heard him get out of the throttle.
For a split second, he wasn't out of it too long.
If he stays out of it any longer, then he loses so much momentum, they'll all drive by him.
There's Snider. He restarted with those 4 tires in the 10th or the 13th position, or the 10th position with those 4 tires, and he has taken them to the front.
How about our long shots? We thought guys that might be able to get up there and contend for a win. I'm gonna might switch those to favorites now. I think they've got Kyle Busch's number tonight.
Stuart Friesen out front.
A pair of 40-to-1s racing against our favorite. He was 5-9, Phil. I think that means if you bet on him in Vegas, you owe them money if he wins. I've never heard of odds like that.
I've heard of 9-5, but I've never heard of 5-9. We call that chalk in horse racing.
Well, they're flexing their muscles on the track here. This has been a great race so far. We're racing right through this second stage, Vince.
Well, we showed you earlier that 88 of Matt Crafton with problems. He's in the garage, Alan.
Yeah, they're still hard at work down here. I talked with Crew Chief Junior Joyner, and he says the studs on the radial mount for the caliper on the brake right there, they broke right off, and that was giving them all their issues. Now, what I saw was them attempt to just take the caliper off, put the tire back on, and head back out on the track. And NASCAR said, no, 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 you're not doing that. So they are fixing the whole assembly down there. Junior said this may have been the cause for their slow speed throughout the race. They think it may have been dragging the entire race, and that's why they have not been really up to speed and performing well throughout this entire race. It'll be a little longer before they can get back on track.
Now, what a tough break for the former champ, Matt Crafton. She right on board with Noah Gragson. Everybody chasing that 52 of Stuart Friesen.
They've been able to drive away a little bit from the third place truck of Myatt Snyder.
Friesen has yet to win in his Camping World Truck Series career. The guy behind him is seeking his 50th win.
Friesen had that great runner-up finish at Eldora last year, but we expect him to do that on dirt.
That's his background, Phil. That's all he's done.
But ever since the association with GMS happened, this team has really been on the move.
Young racer out of Canada.
6 laps remaining now, 5 laps to go here in stage 2.
And there's nobody here that wants to take that stage win away from him any more than that guy driving that 51 truck, Kyle Busch.
And Andy Houston, his spotter up on top of the grandstands, is telling Stuart Friesen every move Kyle Busch is making, because Phil, he's getting a big draft down the straightaway. He's able to really close on Friesen when they get to the corner, and it's Friesen's job to be right where Kyle Busch wants to be when they enter the turn.
See, he's opened up about a 3 truck length gap. Let's see how long it takes Kyle Busch to close that back up.
How much you think that might be Kyle Busch just playing with the air, understanding how far he rolls back, how quickly he can catch back up. That's all a part of what an experienced driver will do during the course of a run. He has to understand exactly what move it's going to take to win the stage.
Kyle Busch started on pole.
That's another thing. The lap traffic is really slow tonight. We've seen some trucks off the pace, and these drivers running nearly wide open. That really throws off your timing.
Still 1 back.
How bad does Stuart Friesen want this stage? Not just because it's a stage, it's because he's going to put Kyle Busch, keep Kyle Busch in his rearview mirror.
There you go. Really good 3 and 4. Clear by 2.
There's Johnny Sauter looking for 7th inside of Justin Haley. A couple of teammates there.
Everybody realizes how important these stage points are.
And you know who's the benefit factor of all that? Us. These drivers are racing so hard for 1 point. They're 2 and 3 wide, and it's fun to watch.
Cody Coughlin in 10th, and that's Spencer Davis going around him. Coughlin doesn't want to lose that position because there's a stage point attached to that 10th spot.
Myatt Snyder's driven right back up on the tailgate of Kyle Busch.
Maybe that draft off the back of Busch's truck, Snyder gets up there and pushes Kyle, and it helps him.
Noah Gragson won stage 1. Stuart Friesen trying to put his name on stage 2 as Myatt Snyder goes underneath Kyle Busch for 2nd.
Wow.
And here comes Friesen.
How about 40-1 and 40-1?
And at 5-9. 1, 2, 3.
Stuart Friesen wins stage 2. Just the 2nd time in his career he's posted a stage win.
That's awesome.
Wow, it has been fun tonight, side by side everywhere. Stuart Friesen, stage 2 winner. Certainly a picture-perfect night here in Las Vegas.
Beautiful.
Watch that moon come up over the mountains. Beautiful.
Hey, the 52 of Stuart Friesen, remember this? At Eldora? I mean, we're used to seeing him up front on the dirt, right?
That's the same as here, right, in Las Vegas?
I mean,
well, there is a dirt track here, but it's over.
And you know, Phil, ever since he's been a racer, this is what he's done. He's raced dirt all up and down the East Coast into Canada. Amazing dirt racer, but the transition he's made from dirt to pavement and the competitive runs he's had has been impressive.
Sure has.
That's the last time he's won a stage, was that race at Eldora, but he's the Stage 2 winner here tonight in Las Vegas. Well, they're coming to pit road. Alan and Hermie are down there. Here they come, Alan.
Yeah, Mike Snyder wanted a small adjustment on the last stop. He went out and finished second in the stage. He wants the same adjustment this time around. 4 tires for Mike Snyder. Hermie?
Alan, Kyle Busch described the 51 as plowing tight, will not turn. It's going to be 4 tires, air pressure, and 2 rounds of wedge out of the left rear of the 51. The 52 is Stuart Friesen. He's getting tight in turns 3 and 4. He likes it in 1 and 2. It's going to be 4 tires and air pressure adjustment for Stuart Friesen. The 13 looks like he's off. We'll see who wins the battle off pit road.
Can't afford a mistake here. It's going to cost you track position for sure.
Johnny Sauter's looking pretty good right now. It's going to be Johnny Sauter. Got to believe probably 2 tires for Johnny Sauter. No, they're saying 4 for Johnny Sauter.
Wow. And I think Stuart Friesen got off before Johnny. He was just outside of the picture, but a great stop by that Sauter team.
Picking up 6 spots. Meanwhile, Myatt Snyder lost 5.
Let's talk to our Stage 2 winner, Stuart Friesen. Stuart, that was amazing. It's Michael Walter, Phil, and Vince up in the box booth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Holy cow is all I can really say. 3 wide, inside, outside. You did an amazing job holding off Kyle Busch. How good does it feel to know you've got a truck you can win this race with?
Dude, it's amazing. The GMS Snap Shop has been amazing working with our HFR guys. I got to thank Chris Larson, everybody at Helmar International. It's been a great deal, and like I said, these guys gave us an awesome race car today.
Well, you are the man, and I'm having so much fun watching you run with Kyle. Get that first win tonight if you can.
Try my best, Mikey. I appreciate it. Learning a lot from him, too, so it's been fun racing. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll say hi to all your fans in Canada for you.
Yeah, Test 4, everybody in Canada, and all my big block modified buddies in the Northeast. Appreciate it.
Two stages complete. The final stage coming up. Noah Gragson won stage 1. Stuart Friesen won stage 2.
You know, it's been so cool seeing battles up front, Vince, and the way these guys have been running like they're at Daytona or Talladega, 3, 4 wide, 10 or 12 back. There's some good runs all throughout the top 20, though, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wendell Chavis is inside the top 20.
How about this guy here in the 20 from Nice, France?
Michel Distier. Talked to him yesterday, Phil. I said, you got to run nearly wide open here. He said, oh, I don't know about that. And that might be the worst French accent I've ever done. But he was so energetic.
Is that what that was?
He was so energetic about getting this opportunity. And he improved like over 3 seconds from round 1 to round 2 in practice yesterday. And Richard Orlinski, that sponsor on the side of that truck, that's a famous French artist.
Probably the most famous French artist, right?
Yeah, Johnny Sauter, he's been plagued by some handling issues tonight, so his crew chief, Joe Shear, is praising the crew right now for getting him out in P2. I just asked Joe Shear, you got a handle on those handling problems? And he said no, and he's hoping that the clean air helps them out, really praising the team for putting on 4 tires and getting them out in front of a lot of trucks right now.
Clean air can fix a lot of problems, though, can it?
Well, Vince, it'll totally change a truck. If you're up there in the first 2 or 3 rows, your truck is going to handle way better than it does if you're 4 or 5 back, and your crew getting you up there is a great feeling for the driver. It makes you want to be more aggressive, keep that track position. On the other hand, Myatt Snyder lost positions on that pit stop. Now he's going to be back in the middle of that mess.
How about Johnny Sauter's crew? He came in 8th and came out 2nd. That's a huge jump.
Yeah, it's a big race for Sauter as well. His sponsor, Allegiant. Headquartered here in Las Vegas. Felt like he had this race, was capable of winning it a year ago, let it get away. Had it marked on the calendar to get it done this year. He starts on the front row in this restart along with Stuart Friesen.
Look at him fan out. 3, 4, 5 wide.
Hold on.
Friesen caught a nice push there from Brett Moffitt. Moffitt didn't go to the apron, he just pushed him out. And the benefactor will be those two trucks. They're out in front of that clean air we talked about.
Wow, big sparks from the back. Contact looked in the middle of that pack.
4 wide.
Right along with Noah Gregson, right in the middle.
Oh, this makes me nervous. And I'm not even out there. How's those guys feel? I guess if they could see what we're seeing, they might be nervous too.
But Mike, you've been in that situation before. When you're in it, you're not feeling the nerves though, are you? Or are you?
Oh, look, are we 3 wide for the lead again?
Friesen, Moffitt, and Kyle Busch. That's Busch on the inside.
Oh, they're gonna squeeze down.
Squeezed Friesen from the lead, and now Moffitt and Kyle side by side.
This is some incredible racing here. How about Justin Haley going for 3rd in the 24 truck?
Where's he been, Phil? And here comes Cody Coughlin. The 2 truck into the top 5.
What a great show here in Vegas, racing all over the place, and we're in the final stage.
Here's the Jegs.com onboard of Cody Coughlin. Remember, we talked about him finishing 6th here last year. Had a great run. Going after Friesen now.
Oh, Stewart looks like maybe his truck doesn't agree with these tires. Tied off of turn 4, opens the door for Coughlin. Nice job by Cody.
Gregson on board, and his boss, Kyle Busch, to the front for the lead.
Look at Coughlin go on the outside.
This is a career night for this kid. He's doing things tonight we haven't seen him do before. You said a top 10 finish, but this is racing for the lead against Kyle Busch and last week's winner, Brett Moffitt. I think right now the 2 of Coughlin might have the fastest truck.
Here comes the 4 of Spencer Davis on the outside, looking to make it 3 wide. Now 4 as Enfinger gets in the mix. Oh, contact!
Behind you, inside, very bottom, still green. Still green, 1 inside.
The yellow is out for Justin Haley.
You knew something had to give, guys.
We were 4 wide going in turn 1.
Haley and Myatt Snyder made contact.
And Haley had just raced into contention, Vince. Really hadn't talked anything about just that truck until this last few laps.
63 to go with the yellow out. They're not in their window yet, though, are they, Phil? I mean, what do they go, 48?
48, 50, somewhere in that range. Maybe stretch it to 52 if they're getting better mileage tonight than they did during practice.
They're going to have to pit at some point during the 3rd stage.
Without a doubt.
This is too early, right?
Way too early, yes.
Look at, is there damage on that left rear of Mike Schneider's Liberty Tax truck?
That's where the
I just
contact.
got stuck in crappy air. I couldn't find a spot. I tried running the bottom in 3 and 4 to start with, and it just didn't work because everybody's trying to go down there. So I think for the restarts, I just need to stick with where I've been.
Really worried about that left rear tire. You see all the paint, the Goodyear paint off that tire.
I'm going to come to pit road if I'm that team just because he's lost his track position anyway.
Look at the great big run that Grant Enfinger, that put him down on the inside. They just ran out of room there, Michael. 4 trucks running for the same real estate.
And what a great job Schneider did after that contact. He kept that truck pointed in the right direction. Look at that mess back there.
It just didn't have the angle going into that corner with Noah Gregson on the inside of him.
Did you see Schneider wheeling that thing? This is going to be awesome from the helmet cam. Watch this.
Hey, toes right here, Bill. You toes right here, Bill. You toes right here. All right, come on. Inside, very bottom. Inside, very
bottom. What a great job. Wow.
How about from Noah Gregson's perspective?
3 bottom. 3 bottom. I got him jacked up here. Closing out back. 4 bottom. 4. Mid clear. Wrecking behind you. Bottom clear. Spinning behind you. Top clear. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Wave Moffitt.
Phil, did you ever race here?
Yes.
Did you ever hear 4 bottom? That means 4 wide.
No, I did not.
This is some of the most
Maybe 3, but never 4.
Herbie?
24 into pit box. They have been alerted by the NASCAR official that they are on the clock as far as the damaged vehicle policy. A lot of damage to the rear of the truck and certainly the right rear area. Big, tough break for this team. They had quietly worked their way up into the top 5 and had really not made any adjustments on the truck the entire night, but this is going to really set them back.
Boy, that is tough on that 24 because they were in a similar situation last week. They had great practice and qualifying efforts, but then an issue sent them to a tough finish. And then here tonight, more of the same.
Watch this, Vince. Stuart Friesen takes Grant Enfinger on the low side. It gets really aggressive entering the corner, and Grant slid up the hill, lost all his momentum and all his track position.
That was quite a while ago for the lead.
Yeah, and Friesen went on and won the stage.
And now, what do you think Grant Enfinger is going to think? He might dive in the inside of somebody next time.
Wow. Don't go away. You know it's going to be fun to the finish. Cody Coughlin had a terrific run here a year ago. In fact, his best ever finish on a 1.5 miles, and he is right there knocking on the door again tonight, maybe for his first win.
And how impressive has he been? Any of his fans, like maybe Donnie Osmond, got to be loving what he's seeing.
How about that?
His good luck charm?
I think so. We've never seen Cody battle so hard and so fiercely at the front of the field. This has been amazing.
Now, when we had the contact earlier, check out the 21. We had the contact between the 18 of Noah Gregson and the 13 of Myatt Snyder, with the 24 of Justin Haley right there in the middle.
Got some debris. I don't know, Vince, if I wouldn't have stopped right here, given up my track position and fixed that hole in the nose.
Dumped a little fuel in it. We can't make it the rest of the way, but you only need just a splash of gas then.
And we know how fast you can recover and come back through the field. If he did that now, it might put him in a better position later.
It'll be real interesting because they can't make it to the end on fuel from here, so they're going to have to stop at some point here in this final stage with 59 to go. How about Sauter? Did they talk about coming in, Alan?
That's the surprising part, is that they did not. There was no real discussion. Johnny Sauter radioed in, said we had some debris on the backstretch, and that would cause the damage. It took them a few laps to confirm they did indeed have damage, but when they did, no real discussion about coming in at all, Hermie.
Well, Alan, interesting conversation by Kyle Busch. They are looking at fuel mileage. Kyle Busch is running one of the new NASCAR NT1 engines. He's inquiring about the fuel mileage of the 16 of Brett Moffitt, who's running a Toyota engine. So they've gone back and looked at their notes from last year when they ran the same Toyota engine, trying to figure out what maybe the pit strategy for the 16 may be. Very interesting conversation.
Interesting indeed, because I mean, you can't be thinking about even if you get another yellow, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, right? He just wonders what's the difference between the two.
I mean, Brett Moffitt, had we gone 2 or 3 more laps under caution, he may have been able to stretch it. The OEM engines, that Toyota engine, will definitely get better fuel mileage than the NT1s. That's known throughout the garage area.
Well, the way they're racing, I don't think we're going to have to worry about any of this.
You think we're going to get another yellow? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely more cautions are had.
Wide is a recipe for that, you think?
And the clock's ticking. And as it ticks down toward that checkered flag, it just gets more intense.
Going to be 57 to go when we take the green. That's Kyle Busch on the inside, and last week's winner, Brett Moffitt, on the outside.
Friesen thinking about going on the bottom. Please don't. Not yet.
Gregson thinking about going to the outside of Johnny Sauter. He
up top again.
There's Friesen on the bottom.
Look at this, the 4 of Spencer Davis.
He's with a big group of trucks there.
Friesen on the white line, looking to get under Cody Coughlin.
Coughlin looking for a push from Ben Rhodes to draft up front.
Rhodes won this race a year ago, brought the same truck back, but we haven't seen him running toward the front, now looking to make a charge.
Well, Spencer Davis looked to the inside that time. Wasn't quite enough room. Fortunately, he backed out of it.
Some smoke off the 13 truck on that left rear, Phil. I'm afraid there's a rub there.
I didn't like the looks of that tire with all the Goodyear paint rubbed off it. How about Austin Hill, that 02 truck?
That is
for Tyler Young, doing a nice job. That's Justin Fontaine with a 45.
Justin is there, 3 wide, and here comes the guy we talked about at the beginning of the show, Justin Marks. He's starting to flex some muscle in that 54 truck.
The 98 is Infinger in 9th with Sauter right there in 10th. Dalton Sargent was right behind him in that 25.
Look at
Out
that
front, it's Kyle Busch.
Bunch of debris on the grill of that 51 truck. These NT1 engines are very sensitive to water temperature. Remember, they're fuel injected.
Infinger and Sauter side by side. Sargent right behind him.
This is amazing, the way these guys are racing, so aggressive from the front to the back and getting away with it so far mostly.
Michael, we're used to seeing this kind of racing at Daytona, Talladega, but it's incredibly more difficult and challenging to do it here than it is at those two places.
Is that smoke off the 98 of Grant Infinger? Look like
definitely some smoke there.
I don't see any tire issues.
Up front, it's Kyle Busch and Brett Moffitt, and look at that debris on the front of Busch's truck.
That's a huge piece of debris.
I wonder about the temperatures on that 51 truck. Well, even out in clean air.
Yeah, no, that's when it would be the worst with that debris on there. If he sees the temperatures going up, Kyle will simply move up and lose the lead and let that debris blow off from the wake of the other trucks. It'll blow that debris off and he'll be able to go back to racing. But evidently right now, he's not concerned about it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Cody Coughlin in that 2 sitting in 3rd. This is the view of the back of the Coughlin truck from Noah Gragson.
If he continues at this pace, Donnie Osmond will be at every race this year. I'm just so impressed with Jerry Baxter, that whole team, and Cody Coughlin wheeling that 2 truck. He has put it in every position he needed to tonight, and he finds himself racing the second winningest driver ever in the trucks and the most recent winner right ahead of him.
You know, our Hermie Sadler interviewed Donnie Osmond during the qualifying show and actually sang with him. And I think right there, Kyle Busch realized that, Michael, just exactly what you were talking about. He's going to try to pull up to that 16 truck and blow that piece off. But that doesn't mean if Donnie Osmond keeps coming, we're going to have to listen to Hermie sing anymore, does it?
I hope not. I don't think Donnie was overly impressed with Hermie. He did like his purple socks that Hermie was wearing, but his voice, oh, did you hear that? He just got pushy off the corner. The truck got tight and he lost some momentum.
Donnie Osmond there on the left-hand side of the screen. He's enjoying it. Look at him. You can tell. Said it's his first ever NASCAR race, and you know he's having some fun tonight watching Cody Coughlin.
I would pay to hear him sing, but I'm not going to pay to hear Hermie sing.
Cody's mom and dad have been going to see Donnie Osmond ever since he was a teenager. They just love Donnie, and he was invited out to come to the races this weekend, and he's having a ball. Who wouldn't have fun at a NASCAR race, especially one with this kind of action?
Well, that debris has come off the front end of the 51, just as you indicated it would as soon as he got behind Brett Moffitt.
It might not be that easy to get that lead back, though. I'm not sure Brett's going to want to get that lead back here.
And this is another example of NASCAR getting it right. Those are 2 different types of engines in the first 2 trucks. The Toyota engine in the front truck, a NASCAR engine in the back truck. NASCAR has put an engine into the series that is more economical. The teams can afford to race these engines longer without rebuilding them, and they think that it is a big cost-saving measure for the series going forward. But they wanted the Toyotas and the other engines to still be competitive because people still want to race those engines, and I get it, and I commend NASCAR for keeping the playing field level.
Stuart Friesen and Ben Rhodes for 5th. Rhodes, last year's winner here at Las Vegas, seems like he's on the charge here in the final stage.
I don't think that 52 truck's as good as it was, Michael. We were just talking about that. Maybe it's the dirty air back there.
Well, and we saw in that start he was pushing off the corner. Cody Coughlin had a big run on him on the first lap, and it just hasn't been the same. I don't think the track would have changed much, Phil. You know, sometimes when it gets cooler and cooler, these trucks indeed get loose because the front tires start sticking better and the backs can't keep up with them. But I don't know, everybody else seems to have good handling.
And I asked a lot of the crew chiefs if they felt like this track would get loose, and they said, well, the temperatures have been so cool here the whole time we've been here, I'm not sure we're going to see that big swing in track temperature and handling.
Johnny Sauter inside of Myatt Snyder for 7th, on board with Snyder.
You can hear him off the gas on the exit, just not handling the way it was. He's got some damage to that left rear corner. These trucks are very aerodynamically sensitive at these high speeds.
Kyle Busch trying to get underneath Brett Moffitt, trying to wrestle that lead back.
Moffitt holds him off for the time being, but Busch taking a look.
Oh, but he put the old crossover on Moffitt. You see him look to the bottom. Brett went down to block. Kyle went high. Not going to pay off for him, though. Phil, it's not Brett Moffitt time yet. He doesn't lead until the last 2 laps, and then he takes the victory.
He's won 2 races in the Truck Series, and he's led a total of 3 laps in those 2 races.
Well, he's led 9 tonight, so he's dominating tonight.
That's 6 or 8 wins worth of leading laps.
Moffitt continues to lead. We're going to break, but you're going to keep on trucking. You're going to see it all.
All week we work. We clock in, roll up our sleeves, and get the job done. And when Friday comes, we all get to raise
when they take the green, there will be 10 to go.
A little hell.
So Dave here is taking the family up to the lake for the weekend, but without the white knuckles this time. Because his new 2018 Ford F-150 has bliss with trailer coverage. It's Brainiac smart. Not only does it watch your F-150's blind spots, it's got your trailer covered too. Just another reason why Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck for 41 straight years. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
We love it, right?
Oh, totally. I do not wish it was mid-century at all.
Or longer.
It's a great length.
Don't settle. Shop eBay for the design you really want with fast, free shipping. eBay.
Green flag in the air, we're underway. This season.
Oh, what a great move right there.
40 drivers.
Here they come.
He's got it righted. Compete.
Oh, it's a risky move right here. Contact.
Oh, wrecking behind them. And decide.
Unbelievable finish.
Who will rise to the top?
How about that?
The Big East tournament. It's about to go down.
This is where the hardest players turn in.
The stars of the Big East fight for conference supremacy on FS1.
It's come from the Big East tournament. Watch the MSG where we born to be victorious.
The 2018 Big East tournament begins Wednesday at 7 Eastern on FS1.
Brett Moffitt, last week's winner in Atlanta, trying to go back-to-back. He's out front again tonight. Under 40 to go, and Kyle Busch is chasing him. Myatt Snyder running 8th as we take a look at our Ford track facts. Myatt Snyder, part of the Thor Sport contingent.
Very strong 13 Liberty Tax truck tonight, giving us these great pictures. Got some damage on his truck, and he's lost some of that momentum, but a good run for him early.
Not going to be Matt Crafton's night, that's for sure. We saw him in the garage for a significant period of time with a brake issue.
Grant Enfinger battling alongside Spencer Davis, and Johnny Sauter just continues to march forward even though he's got damage on the front of that 21 truck.
He dropped back at the initial restart, but he has passed a lot of trucks. Now he's up to the 4th spot. Here Cody Kaufman having to modulate that throttle to keep that front end under it.
That's why these guys are maybe looking for a caution pretty soon, so they can maybe make a slight adjustment, but mainly get new tires on these trucks, and they can go back to battling 2, 3, even 4 wide as we saw earlier.
With 37 laps to go, we know we're in our window. These guys can stop now, easily make it to the end.
Stuart Friesen led 31 laps earlier tonight. Right now he's 7th.
Vince, when he came down pit road, he complained of a tight condition. The truck would not turn the way he wanted it to. They made some adjustments. The truck is still overall tight. The problem is, on a couple occasions, it has also snapped loose with him. In other words, he's turned the wheel so much in the center of the corner, it's grabbed a couple times and made the back end come around. So he's gone to a push loose condition on the 52. He's not able to be as aggressive as he was early tonight.
And I got to tell you, Hermie, that's one of the most frustrating things for a driver to face inside of a truck. It's pushing, but then it gets loose on exit, and that makes the driver really nervous about what to tell the crew chief. You know, I need it to be freer, but if he doesn't get it free enough, then that front end will still continue to push and it's liable to snap around. So that's frustrating and challenging, both for the driver and the crew chief. Look at Kyle Busch wandering way up the track there, maybe looking for some fresh asphalt. You can see he's blowing up a little dust, starting to feel around and see what it's going to take to run down Brett Moffitt.
And these guys haven't lost any pace, Michael. They're still running speeds capable of sitting on the pole for this race.
Well, keep an eye on this battle. Cody Coughlin in that 2, looking back at Ben Rhodes. It's a battle for 5th. Rhodes looking inside and coming.
Look at that truck hopping around, Phil. That's what these guys do every lap. They just sit in there and ride that truck as it goes through those bumps.
And we've had a great view from that visor cam from Myatt Snider. Exactly what these guys are feeling.
I think the handling's really starting to go away on Cody's truck. You can hear him really off the gas.
These guys last pitted on lap 63, so we're getting close to 40 laps.
And Myatt Snider is on pit road. Alan.
Myatt Snider coming in for what could be their final pit stop. They were fast earlier in this race. They made an adjustment, made the truck bad. He wants whatever they did to it taken out. 4 tires and fuel for Myatt Snider.
Well, he pitted from the 8th position, and he's banking on everybody making green flag stops here, right?
He sure is.
Is that a big gamble?
You know, you've got to take a chance sometimes.
I mean, we're in Vegas, right? You got to roll the dice.
And he wasn't going to. Besides that, Vince, he's 40-1. Did I mention that? So he decided it was worth the gamble. Did the crew, came to pit road, made that final pit stop, and hoping the cycle will go through and everybody will pit.
And I think if we were at a place like Atlanta, it would be more beneficial when you got a lot of fall off on the tires. These guys haven't fallen off with any speed here, so I'm not sure how much it's going to help him. He's going to need things to work out exactly right.
Well, how about those drivers that haven't come to pit road yet? When are they going to have to come, Phil?
I think somewhere around lap 100, 110 to 112.
So 7 to 10 more laps?
They can go about 50 laps. They last pitted on lap number 63, so somewhere around lap 113, give or take a couple laps.
Maybe around 20 to go?
Yes, exactly.
Look at these guys splitting that traffic over there off turn 2. That's the 10 truck of Jennifer Jo Cobb. She kept it down low.
Oh, and a bad break for Myatt Snider. Uncontrolled tire, going to have to do a pass-through penalty.
Yeah, that's tough.
So the gamble didn't pay off.
Well, when you're the driver and you get down to pit road speed and you get in and out like you're supposed to, you leave pit road and you think, wow, I'm glad I did that okay. And then you get word that there's a problem and you got to come back to pit road. It's very disappointing.
Hey, Johnny Sauter's got somewhere to go. He looks like he's in a hurry.
And he's going fast there, too.
I mean, that hole, it looked like it's about the size of your fist there in the just left of the grill. I would have thought that would have slowed him down.
Well, I would have thought that too, and I just don't understand why it hasn't. But actually, I think it sped him up.
He was the fastest truck on the racetrack that lap, a full 1/10 of a second faster than our leader, Brett Moffitt.
Now Sauter closing in on Kyle Busch, or excuse me, that's the 15 of Lyons.
Robbie Lyons kept it low, Sauter around the top. Let's see this tire get away.
There it goes.
Into the next pit. That's uncontrolled out of the pit box. I'm sure Myatt saw it and thought, hope we get by with that, but they didn't.
He's already served his penalty, now getting back up on the racetrack.
Tough break because it's been a good run for Myatt Snider tonight.
Yeah, he's been impressive. I think there's some nights where you just make a statement and you say, I can race with the best in the truck series. And Myatt Snider and Cody Coughlin both did that tonight.
The 16 of Brett Moffitt is your race leader.
He's got about a 10 truck lengths over Kyle Busch, and as Moffitt battles with Snider, that's going to allow Kyle Busch to move right back in on the leader.
Remember, Snider has fresh tires, but he's 3 laps down. If he can get in front of Brett Moffitt, that would put him 2 laps down, but essentially out of contention.
Or maybe he could just wind up on the tail end of the lead lap after the pit stop cycle through. So it's worth fighting for, Phil. Snider needs to stay battling here and try to stay ahead of Moffitt.
Had he not incurred that penalty, he would have been in a lot better position here.
Oh, and there's the bridge.
It's going to Moffitt trying to save it. He's going to save it, but he's going to lose the lead as Kyle Busch goes around. And remember, Michel Distier has only run one other race, and he just looked like he got caught in no man's land there.
A lot of contact with the right side of that 16 truck. Let's keep an eye on that. Look for any tire rubs.
And I don't know how Moffitt saved it. Look at that damage on the right side.
Distier was running in the top 20.
Spencer Davis to pit road.
Doing a nice job, but that traffic caught him quickly. And man, it must have surprised him. Hermie.
The Ford truck has been a little bit on the free side pretty much the entire night. Try to give him a little bit of an air pressure adjustment. To finish off what has been a good run so far. Not a lot of experience, but it's been getting a lot of feedback to his crew chief, Wes Ward. Ford is down and away. 16's on pit road, Alan.
Brett Moffitt coming in now a lap earlier than they expected. He says he has a little smoke in the cockpit from that damage. You can see it there on the right side. They wanted a balance check to make sure it was still good on all 4 tires. They're going to make a small adjustment, check out the damage, and give him 4 tires here. A truck that was obviously capable of leading. They want to see what they can do to get him back out there.
Yeah, Alan, they'll have to balance pulling the tires out, costing them some time on pit road, but they can't have a tire rub or the race will be over.
Yeah, the good news is it's not that much early from his normal pit stop.
Justin Marks in again. What could be the final pit stop on the night. We've seen him go up and down through this field. Should be 4 tires for the 54. 2 tires. It's a 2-tire call on the 54. A little strategy as this race plays out.
As Marks pitted from inside the top 15. Going to see some take 2 here, aren't you?
I was certainly thinking we would. It's worth a gamble.
Yeah, we know they only need 1 can of fuel here to get to the end.
Here's what happened. Look, Distier caught there in the middle. Can't quite get either down or up far enough, and just like that, Moffitt was on top of it.
And that's just an amazing job by Brett Moffitt not wrecking that truck.
So is this?
It's just no man's land, Vince. Those leaders were side by side coming, closing in on Michel, and he tried to stay low, and he just couldn't quite get down far enough.
What's going on with the 51? When are they coming, Hermie?
In a couple of laps, Vince, with Mike Hillman, the crew chief, said we've got a 5-second lead. Let's get 4 tires. Kyle called him off and said, I do not want to take more than everybody else. So the crew has had to add air pressure to the right side tires in preparation of the 51 coming down pit road. But right now, the 18 of Noah Gregson is coming down pit road. They're going to look at fuel only on the 18 to try to gain some track position. Also, you see the 41 of Ben Rose. He won here last time we were here. They're going to do 2 right side tires on the 41. His truck's a little bit tight.
Made a chassis adjustment on that 18. Here comes the 51 of Kyle Busch.
I like 2 tires, Vince. You can't. Oh, a little bit of indecision there, Hermie, with the 41, but here comes our leader, Kyle Busch.
As I just said, they added air pressure to both right side tires of the 51. Kyle just wants to stay on the same plan as the drivers. He is racing for the win. Right front is done, right rear is done. Alan?
One of the fastest trucks just now, Johnny Sauter. They're only going for 2 tires on the 21. Looks like pretty clear on the way out. Now Cody Coughlin in again. Another great run for this young man tonight. 2 tires on so far. They're going for 4 over to the left side. They need a small adjustment to keep this going. They hope they can close it out.
And you know, Alan, I think some of these teams are deciding for 4, hoping for a late caution. If we can say, look at Donnie. He's checking out that pit stop. He's got to be happy with the performance tonight, and it looks like he's having the time of his life. By the way, my sister Connie's at home. She said, Donnie Osmond is there? That's amazing.
I think Donnie Osmond's having some fun tonight. He said it's his first NASCAR race, and we've seen lots of smiles coming from him. You know, the new pit lane rules were only 1 less pit crew member allowed over the wall. Man, we've seen some athletic moves from these pit road crewmen throughout the course of this race. You see it on Saturday in the Xfinity race, Sunday in the Cup race. They have done a great job, these crews, adjusting to the new pit lane rules.
Look at this, Dalton Sargent, maybe a little strategy here too, Phil. Keep running. No, you're not going to put on tires. Take less gas when you come to pit road, a quicker pit stop that way. These crew chiefs are varying strategies, hoping maybe not to get the win, but to improve their finish the best they can.
He pitted about 10 laps later than most of our leaders did, so he's got a little bit of insurance. He can probably go to around lap 1:23. We're on lap 116 right now.
And if he gets to there, it's just a splash and go.
Absolutely.
And maybe he picks up some ground on the competition.
We documented that Noah Gragson did fuel only. Well, that put him up in front of Johnny Sauter. He was behind Johnny Sauter when they made their pit stops. Now he's in front of Johnny.
Looks like Dalton Sargent's trying to get down to pit road.
There's 45 of Justin Fontaine. He's currently in the second spot. It looks like he's running too fast. I don't think Sargent can get it slowed down.
Don't want to get a speeding penalty at this stage, that's for sure.
Well, that was an aggressive entrance, and if he got it slowed down to pit road speed, that was a great job by Dalton Sargent.
They're going to get tires.
Looks like just two. I don't see the left side tires over the wall. Maybe 2 tires and 1 can of fuel is all he's going to need.
And he's off.
Make sure he doesn't speed on exit.
I'm worried about that first segment, Phil. He was cooking when he came off the racetrack.
So many of these drivers practice getting...
Yellow's out. Got one spun in 4.
And now the caution. Justin Fontaine out front.
That's him right there, that white 45 truck.
It looked like maybe the 20 truck of Michel Distier got loose up in turn 4 and spun. Fontaine stayed on the racetrack, so he's our leader right now. He had some speed in practice yesterday, Phil.
He did. He probably needs to get down on the flat because he has to be short of fuel. He was on that same strategy that Dalton Sargent was. He pitted on lap 73.
The 20 of Michel Distier spins, and you see the after effects of that. See it from Myatt Snyder's view.
How to get your attention from Myatt Snyder's view. Will that truck stay up high?
3 and 4.
Yes, it did. And Snyder sneaks by on the bottom.
54 of Justin Marks will get the free pass.
That will give us 12 trucks on the lead lap.
Justin Fontaine, the 20-year-old from Fletcher, North Carolina, drives for Nice Motorsports.
Part of a 2-truck team with Austin Wayne Self.
And an alliance with GMS as well. So we've seen how strong the GMS trucks are week in, week out.
This young man had a top 10 finish at Daytona. He's going to be on pit road almost by himself.
Yeah, Phil, this might trap some guys that maybe would have been able to just swing around and get back on the lead lap if Fontaine had pitted. That'll keep them a lap down. They'll have to stay on the track and take the wave around. So this could be a bit of a penalty for some trucks.
4 tires for Justin Fontaine. They tried to play the track position game, stay out as long as they could. Remember, this is the first time here for Justin Fontaine. He was confident during qualifying that his truck had speed. Now they can get him a little track position, maybe get him a really good finish for the 45 truck.
Yeah, finished 10th at Daytona, his best career finish. Had a good go of it here tonight in Vegas. Don't go anywhere, gonna finish. Stretch run here in this race, and it's also stretch run in the basketball season. It's tourney time. Xavier and Villanova, the rest of the Big East, fighting for conference supremacy. You see it on FS1, the 2018 Big East tournament, sponsored by Jeep, beginning Wednesday, only on FS1. From Madison Square Garden in New York. What a great city that is, the Big Apple. And how about this city? It's pretty cool too, Las Vegas.
And how about this finish we're setting up for? You can see some of the trucks that got caught on the track doing the wave around, and Alan Cavana, Johnny Sauter's been the fastest truck lately.
Yes, but he is very unhappy. He is not expecting much on this restart. Says he is dead in the water. Says there's a problem just coming up through the gears, which is most important on the restart. He's just been telling the team for the next race, we need more second gear for these restarts. He's not expecting much here.
Let's go back to last year and the way this race ended. Watch that first truck on the inside of row 2. That's Ben Rhodes in the 27. And jumps that late restart, gets inside of the 16, which was Ryan Truex at the time, and that sent Ben Rhodes to victory.
Held off that Ford truck of Christopher Bell.
And guys, keep your eye on the 16 truck of Brett Moffitt. He's right behind Johnny Sauter. He's in the 3rd row on the inside. And you remember what he did last week in Atlanta on that last restart. He was able to drive around the leader and win. He's back in in the third row. He's on that inside. If Sauter doesn't go, I know where Brett Moffitt's going.
Remember, you have to stay in line till you get to start-finish line. Then you can go anywhere. You can go down below that yellow line, whatever you have to do.
Well, I wouldn't count out Ben Rhodes starting on that outside of the second row in that green truck, because he's got to believe he's got a shot to win it as well.
What about Noah Gregson, that teammate for Kyle Busch?
I don't believe I'd count out anyone, Vince.
11 to go in Las Vegas. Who you betting on?
Brett Moffitt up the middle. Johnny Sauter had the door closed on the bottom. Moffitt went to the top. He's going to come off turn 2 in second position.
Look at him fan out here. 3 wide, 4 wide. Look at Grant Enfinger in the inside.
Friesen holds him off for second.
Oh, and
Moffitt with a big wiggle.
Flipping and sliding through 3 and 4.
Look at Johnny's in the middle, that white and blue, number 21.
Camping World 10 to go at Las Vegas. They're all chasing Kyle Busch. Kyle has won on every active track in the Truck Series that he's competed on, except this one, his hometown of Las Vegas.
What about Stuart Friesen has battled his way back into contention? The big block modified buddies up on the East Coast are cheering right now, watching Friesen go.
How about Johnny Sauter? He got up to speed now. A little struggle to get through the gears.
Enfinger looking inside of Friesen.
What a move by Grant Enfinger. Had some good momentum off turn 4, didn't he?
That's for 4th. Running out of time.
Here comes Moffitt, though, Vince. He's been able to run Kyle Busch back down the last time by. 3/10 better than Busch.
How about Johnny Sauter now? He's in the mix.
Sauter didn't like the way his truck got through the gears on the restart, but it looks pretty sporty once he gets that momentum going. But Enfinger, he's on the move now inside of Sauter, looking for 3rd.
Johnny left the bottom of the racetrack open down in 3 and 4. Grant Enfinger took it. Now Johnny's fighting back on the outside.
I think Brett Moffitt in the second position is going to need those guys to settle out that battle for 3rd and use a little bit of draft. He needs a push from behind in order to make a run on Kyle Busch. And it looks like Sauter has cleared both Enfinger and Friesen and is running toward the front.
Remember, Kyle Busch running all 3 series this weekend here in Las Vegas. His hometown, you know he's hoping for the trifecta here in Vegas with the win in the trucks, the Xfinity and Cup. But first, he's got to finish it off here tonight, and Brett Moffitt is right there.
Trying for win number 50 here in the Truck Series.
He's got his hands full, doesn't he?
He sure does.
These truckers have closed the gap on Kyle Busch.
Moffitt in second, Sauter in 3rd, Enfinger a little further back in 4th. But Moffitt right up on the tailgate of Kyle Busch.
Phil, do you think you make a move now, or do you think you wait a few laps and just play with the distance behind, see if you can draft up and get a better chance?
Michael, I think I would like to make the move now. If I got an opportunity and had enough momentum, I think I would rather have the lead and try to figure out how to keep him behind me.
I don't know if it wouldn't be wise for Moffitt. It's a bit of a risk. Looks like Johnny Sauter's got a good run. But if he could get back to Sauter with the right momentum, those two could draft right down on Busch.
5 to go. Kyle Busch, Brett Moffitt, Johnny Sauter, Grant Enfinger, 1 through 4, taking it to the finish.
Enfinger likes the high side, decided he'd roll up there and see if he could gain some momentum.
The guys, they're running faster than the pole. Almost track record speed they're running right now.
That's amazing. Oh, dice through traffic. Norm Benning right in the middle of the track.
Cost Brett Moffitt.
Look at Enfinger. This might be the fastest of the 4 trucks. He's able to close on this battle for the lead. Can he clear Moffitt? Yes, I think he can.
Boy,
Look at him jump up there.
That lap traffic cost Brett Moffitt probably a chance at this win, as Moffitt now trying to get inside Enfinger for 3rd, but at the front it's now Johnny Sauter chasing Kyle Busch.
Johnny Sauter's team owner, Maury Gallagher, lives here in Las Vegas. That team has a lot of roots here to this part of the country. Johnny Sauter knows all that. He won Daytona. He wants to get a big win in his owner's hometown.
And Johnny Sauter is a racer. He was so disappointed last week after not grabbing that win in Atlanta.
Look at Moffitt. He battles back around Enfinger. Bush is off the road trying to break the draft.
2 laps to go. Johnny Sauter won the opener at Daytona, a former champion. Kyle Busch looking for career win number 50 in the Truck Series and a first-time ever win here in his hometown of Las Vegas.
Kyle Busch is doing everything he knows how to do to keep that 21 of Sauter behind him.
And look at Brett Moffitt. He hasn't given up yet. Closing ground. Might be too little too late, but here he comes.
1 lap to go. The white flag lap for Kyle Busch. Johnny Sauter right there. Here comes Brett Moffitt on the inside, taking a look on Sauter. Moffitt inside of Sauter. That might be just what Kyle Busch needs. Sauter for second, battling with Moffitt. And here comes Kyle Busch. Take it to the pay window and cash it. Kyle Busch wins at Las Vegas.
Great job, everybody. Thanks for all your hard work. Man, it's been a long time we raced against each other. Go to victory lane together. It's pretty cool.
Look at that team celebrating a big victory for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Number 50 for Kyle personally.
Mike Hillman Jr., the crew chief.
And Vince, these guys, people forget about the history that you have racing against Kyle Busch, going to victory lane, and now you go to victory lane with Kyle Busch. How do you feel about that?
It's an awesome feeling right now. I'm just really proud of all the guys that work on this Cessna Tundra. They haven't taken a day off since before Daytona, trying to get everything ready to come here. I just got to thank God and thank everybody that works hard on these race cars. It's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's Mike Hillman. He's going to victory lane.
Championship crew chief and a championship driver, Kyle Busch. Kyle has now won here in his hometown in Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup.
And he's taking it easy on that engine as he turns it down.
Is that taking it easy? Is that what that is?
That's probably about 5,000 or 6,000 RPM. Just sort of.
Definitely not taking it easy on the tires.
No, not at all. But having some fun for these Las Vegas fans that have come here tonight to see this show, and what a show it was.
The first time Kyle raced the truck here at Las Vegas, he was 16 years old. Hasn't raced it since, but tonight he climbs up and celebrates the victory. Finally getting the truck win in his hometown. Career win number 50 in the trucks.
Nice pose for the fans.
I like it.
1 away from the all-time record. Kyle Busch getting it done in Vegas. Only fitting that you'd get rowdy in Vegas, right? I mean, that's what happens. You come to Vegas, you get rowdy. Well, you got some rowdy victory tonight, that's for sure, and it has been impressive in his Truck Series career.
Some amazing stats there. 35% of the time he straps in a truck, he wins the race. 50 wins in 142 starts.
And led over 6,300 laps. That's amazing.
He's in victory lane with Hermie Sadler.
Well, here he is. He climbs out. Hometown, home track, victory. Kyle, they made you work for this one. Win number 50, and you get it at your hometown in Las Vegas, Nevada. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's pretty awesome, you know, just great team, everybody at Kyle Busch Motorsports, everybody at Rowdy Manufacturing. I can't say enough about this Cessna Toyota Tundra. I mean, it was really, really fast. I felt like we were just struggling a little bit in the long run, but, you know, Hillman kept making changes on it all night long and kept getting it better and better each and every pit stop. So, you know, thanks to Textron Aviation and Cessna Beechcraft, Toyota TRD. Tell you what, those Mark Cronquist engines gave us a run for it, making us all look dumb on the decision we made, but they were fast, so it looked really good to see that. But thanks to Camping World and the fans, and of course, all these guys, everybody on my team, everybody here this weekend, they've done a great job, and it's been a lot of fun to win these races, especially with your own team and being with these guys. But we'll go celebrate tonight, and one of our partners here tonight, Incredible Bank, so I appreciate them.
When you're battling the 16 and then you fend off the 21, how much is offense and how much is defense at a place like this?
It's all defense. You know, when we had that long run there, and I felt like the 16 and we stayed in good enough line that we just drove away from everybody. You know, the draft kind of helped us kind of get away from everybody, and then I was hoping that somebody would get behind me and we could just get away and then duke it out. But that was kind of too short of a run there at the end in order to do that. But when you get out front, when you get strung out like that, I was trying to get by the 16. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pass him. There was nothing I could do. I mean, he could protect just a couple times on a lap or something like that, and it would totally mess me up and mess up my air for me to be able to get a run on him. And always on the straightaways you can get that run, but it's about what you can do when you get to the corner and get through that corner. So, you know, we got some work to do to try to be better here, but all in all was a strong run and great night to be in victory lane.
Well, he's the man, and he's back in victory lane here in Las Vegas. Alan?
Second place for Johnny Sauter, hard fought. Not so happy though after the race, even with second place. Why not?
Well, I mean, you don't win. What's there to be happy about? No, just proud of everybody on our Allegiant Sunseeker Chevy. You know, I thought that lap truck would, you know, stay out of the way there, and I was trying to run the middle there to try to get one last shot at Kyle down the back chute, and that guy obviously just checked up or stopped or whatever, but it's just a frustrating night. We just could not get going on restarts again, and, you know, I think everybody probably thinks it's me and just won't run. So we got to figure something out. I got to get better speed, but all in all, good night. Pit stops are amazing. Those guys are awesome. Thank all the guys at GMS. Everybody did a good job. We just, I don't know. It's a good night. It really is. I just want more.
Second place for Johnny Sauter.
Yeah, I love that about Sauter, though. He always wants more, and if he's not in victory lane, he's not satisfied. In 3 races, Sauter has a first, a second, and a third. Tonight, he was second and has the points lead. Brett Moffitt, also a winner this season. But how about these point standings and some of the names we're seeing?
Yeah, how about Grant Enter, solid 3 top 10s in a row. Ben Rhodes also 3 top 10s to start off the season. About Johnny Sauter, that's his 7th top 3 finish in a row dating back to last year.
And
7 in a row.
Spencer Davis, I mean, he hadn't run any truck races, and he's done a great job getting started this year. Dalton Sargent with a career best finish tonight. I thought we saw a lot of young guys run up toward the front. It's going to make it for a fun year, especially when we go short track racing.
Yeah, we went from the big draft of what we had tonight in the high speeds to the bumping and grinding.
Well, we had a little bit of that bumping and grinding here too, Vince, but cannot wait till we get to Martinsville in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and you know, Vince, that's acceptable. When you get run into at Martinsville, you're like, all right, I didn't like that, but I understand it.
Looking forward to that. Well, Kyle Busch, his weekend has just begun. He's won in the trucks. He wants to do it in Xfinity and Cup as well. He's running all 3. He had to earn it tonight. Kyle Busch, winner in his hometown of Las Vegas.